Hello, somebodies, and welcome to the Nobodies interview with Diego from Lines at the Gate.
Good, man. How you guys
How
doing?
are you, man?
We are doing amazing today. We are so happy that you joined our channel. It means the world to us. It's a high honor. You are the riff master.
I wouldn't call myself that. But thank you.
Well, we're going to call
Thank
you
for
that.
having me on. You know, the band loves the channel. Ever since we started and went public with the band, you guys picked it up. Probably, I think, you were the first reaction channel to pick us up. So we were honored that you guys chose us as one of our videos.
No, you guys are hard and heavy, and you know how to, you got rhythm. I feel there's rhythm and blues in
Definitely,
your
man.
music.
I can't. Neither me or Aru can really get away from groove-oriented riffing and music. So even though we have like the most diverse music taste, when it comes down to writing, it's got to have groove, or else it's just kind of meaningless to us.
100%. You know, it's like there's a lot of bands that just go batshit crazy, and it's like, okay, you know, me, I want to move my head back and forth, and enjoy long choruses and bridges and breakdowns, and you guys put that in every single song.
Yeah, we try. Awesome. You know, I always compare it to like a painter. You know, I have all these colors in my palette. Why can't I use every single one of them when it's needed? You know. Obviously, we can't just blast all the way through. Obviously, it doesn't make sense to sing pretty all the way through. You know, so we like to use the whole palette. And if it's called for, you know, we want to use it. Basically, we just want to write and create memorable, honest music.
I think you guys are honestly the best at kind of mixing in what you do too, because I was listening to Not Even Human this morning, and there's every part of the song that's different works out so well anyway.
Yeah. Thank you.
You guys are astounding.
Now, as far as you as a guitarist, can you give us the history of your life story? Where it all started and
you know,
until
I
now.
started playing guitar pretty late in life, as you know, when you talk to other guitarists, you know, they started as soon as they got out the womb. I was actually almost 18 when I started picking up a guitar seriously and teaching myself. And you know, back then there wasn't the access to the internet as much as there is today. You know, so like what there was is tabs. So I was downloading tabs and just like everybody else, you know, learning how to play, you know, Metallica songs or Kiss songs and stuff like that. My all-time favorite guitar player is Santana. So, you know, that's where I get a lot of like the groove orientation from. You know, that's just where, to me, that's the ultimate. That's just what I relate to the most. You know, as far as music goes, man, my dad introduced me to Carlos Santana when I was like 8 years old. You know, we were on a family trip to a theme park called Knott's Berry Farm here in California, and he played Black Magic Woman, and from there I was like, what is this? Just caught my ear, you know, the rhythm, the percussion, the bluesy guitar, you know, but then it jammed into the Gypsy Queen part, and I was just like, even at 8 years old, I'm like, this is evil as hell. I love it. Yeah.
No, it's heavy. Even though it's not heavy, it's heavy.
You know,
it's a heavy
Black
song.
Magic Woman into the Gypsy Queen part. That is brutal.
Yeah, 100%. And
this is where my lack of
you could hear it in your guitar. So that's great. You know, that's if you're gonna follow somebody, Carlos Santana is definitely somebody you should
undeniably
follow.
You know, and even in his interviews, like I'm a Carlos Santana junkie, so I've read all his interviews. I have his book and all the albums. There's two vinyls up on the wall right now, and you know, he always said like, don't try to be somebody else, be yourself. You know, play for hours and hours, and when you play through all your heroes, your style starts to come out. So it's taken me, you know, this long, you know, but I feel like I finally am starting to touch on my style of playing. And I hope that people will, you know, catch on to that and be like, oh, like he's got a lot to bring to the table, you know?
Mhm.
Sure. Yeah, and you could tell they are because I heard you went like number 4, right? Were you number 4 on the
We
iTunes
actually hit
charts
number
for
three,
Not
which was
Even Human?
crazy.
Did,
We
oh,
were
you did.
completely
Top
caught by
three.
surprise.
That's impressive.
It's like the song comes out, and you wake up in the morning, and your friends and family are like, "Hey, congratulations, yada yada yada." And you're like, "Yeah, cool, thank you." And then I get the phone call, dude, you're number 60 something, and I'm like, "Whoa, out of what?" Like, "Oh, out of 100." I'm like, "Well, that's cool. I didn't think we'd even hit top 100." And then it slowly started climbing, and then Sean, who's one of my best friends and who helps us with all of our media, um, he called me. He's like, "Dude, we're number 23." He says we're because he's as much a part of it as all of us are. And I was like, "Shut up." And we literally were just sitting there refreshing iTunes, and it just started slowly ticking up and ticking up, and we got to like 8, and I started like trembling. I'm like, I can't believe. And then we hit number 3, and I'm not ashamed to say a little tear came to my eye. You know,
Ha.
Hey, you deserve it, man. That
Mhm.
that's a high honor, man. As a musician, you strive for that. That's pretty wild. So
And all in a matter of hours
yeah,
too.
it's great.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So did Scapegoat do as well? Is it
Scapegoat
doing
did
as
pretty
well?
good. I think we hit number 10 with Scapegoat, so still pretty good.
Okay.
Top 10.
The cool thing about Scapegoat is it actually we charted in the active radio rock charts, so for terrestrial in the U.S. So we were, I believe, number 15 on most ads in rock radio in the country, and I believe we hit number 80 on the top 100 as far as rock radio goes. So I mean, Scapegoat's
Uh,
doing his thing, and it's pretty good.
yeah,
Did,
that's a hard and heavy song too.
did you expect the band to pop off like it did, or did you guys feel like you were just starting from scratch?
Um, a little bit of both, I'm going to say. It does feel like we're starting from scratch, but then again, we're not. We're lucky enough and fortunate enough that we have a previous fan base that has stuck with us through all the hard times, and they're just as much responsible for this as we are. We created the music, but they're the ones listening to it. They're the ones telling their friends and family to listen to it, clicking the links, and pre-saving everything, buying all the merchandise. Uh, so as far as like starting from scratch, yeah, it feels that way, but in a good way. And then getting caught by surprise to how quickly the band was accepted and people are liking it. That was a big shock, and we're still like talking about it.
Mhm. And
Good for you.
now,
Good for you. So what are your plans? What do you got as far as you got videos, tours? You got your album
We have
coming out,
no
right?
solid date for the album release yet, and that's just like I said on our Instagram live. We're taking care of all the boring, business stuff right now. We don't want to just throw it out there. I could load all the songs up right now and give them to everybody, but I don't want to do a disservice to the fans and to the songs. The band needs to create and establish itself as a band before I just dump the songs on you guys, because it'd be great. Trust me, we want you guys to hear the songs. They're sitting on my hard drive right now, but without the proper touch and care of management and our booking agents and our PR people and our radio PR, it's not going to get the right push that they deserve. Anybody can write music, anybody can put it up on the internet, but that's where the hobbyists and the professionals, you know, split is the hobbyist can put it out whenever he wants. The professional has to have deadlines. We have to have strategy. We have to have an idea of what we're going to do with the push. Are we going to jump on tour? Are we going to put out a video? Are we going to put out a new line of merchandise? It's the business side of music that
mhm.
we have to tend to, and I don't want to do a disservice to the songs because they're really good.
You know what? You just made my son look at me and smirk at me because I'm the hobbyist side.
I think
we
that's
do
our whole relationship.
we do a reaction and he's like, I'm like, put it out, put it out, put it out, and he's like, no, I want to put it out at 8 o'clock, and he follows the graphs of the
Yeah.
people watching. He's like, people watch at 8 o'clock. We got to get the most people watch, and I'm like, no, just put it out, just put it out. Well, you know what? You just totally changed my outlook on this. Now I'm going to become
he gets it.
yeah. See, I was like, what does my 19-year-old son know? You know what? I heard it from you, and now I'm changing my whole view.
Important. Yeah,
So-
of course.
so thank you.
It's super important in any business. I don't care if you're selling music, cupcakes, drywall. You know, you got to pay attention to your analytics, and if you don't, you're just setting yourself up for a hard time. You know.
No, thank you. I really do appreciate your help.
I do think it's like a good idea to have fun with the creation process, though, which is what you
We
said
have
you do
tons of
too.
fun. I mean, I'm sure you guys seen in other interviews, like writing and recording this record was the most fun I've ever had. It was the most I don't want to call it low key, but like there was no stress about it. It was just we had a great time. We were writing on the spot sometimes, and props to our producer Kyle Odell who really brought the best of us out. I crack jokes that I'm like, hey, this is an awesome album to write. Number two is gonna be way harder because of the quality of material that we put together, and it's a great challenge for ourselves. Like we're up to the task. I'm ready to start now. Start writing and recording the next record now. We got to let the first one come out first. But man, it was just so cool. Like working with Arun Chris, obviously in our previous project. A lot of the times things were super stressful, and deadlines wouldn't be met, and arguments would ensue, and the songs weren't taking shape the way we want them to, and it was totally the opposite this time. This time, basically, we just put the hammer down and said this project is going to be about writing the best music we possibly can and having a great time doing it. And that's why I always say, like, this is like honest music. There's some anger in there. There's some hopefulness in the songs. The whole album is about us in a healing process, along with our other two members, Fern and Steven, bringing in all that stuff, all the baggage from the past and letting it all go, and like to find ourselves on the other side. It's like we're in such a great place, surrounded by great people, and building a great team, and then having guys like you bring us on. Everything is leveling up and falling in the right place.
Well, it's you guys were young back then, and being I'm in my mid 40s now, and I understand like when I was jamming in bands in the 20s, it's like you just yeah, you're fighting, you're young, you don't have no experience. Now you covered all that. You went through hit rock bottom, and now let's not do that again. You actually will go across the street to save $10 in gas. You know what I mean? That's the difference.
You take what you learned in the past and you apply it to your present and your future, so you don't make the same mistakes. And that goes for any walk of life. You learn from falling down and getting back up.
100%. So can you give us one memorable tour story?
Memorable tour story, man. There's so many. I'm trying to think about it.
I'm sure there are.
A PG funny one.
Yeah, PG, please.
I disagree. Radar, let's do this.
Oh man, funny story. I stole Slayer's beer once.
Okay,
we can let you think about that one.
Okay, how about this? What is the biggest crowd that you ever played for?
Oh man, in the tens of thousands. We've done some shows in Europe and South America where there's 40, 50, 60,000 people in front of you. That's so many people you don't even really kind of like gather, like there's that much humanity in front of me. you know, and as much as the energy is there, sometimes the smaller shows are even more energetic. You know, if you get two, three, 400 people in front of you, and it's a packed house, and people are going nuts. Man, that's what we live off of. You know, that type of energy and adrenaline. You know, some of the best shows I've played have been in a tiny box of a club, and it's 120 degrees inside. You're passing out on stage, but everybody in front of you is
Mm-hmm.
dripping sweat, and uh, you know, they don't give a shit as to what's going on. Actually, that reminds me of a cool story. I played a show in Hungary where it was like that, where the club was so damn hot, the condensation of just people's sweat was evaporating and collecting in the ceiling and coming down like raindrops. Like
Oh
sweat
my
rain,
God,
sweaty rain, you know. Uh,
that's
Ew.
and people
gross.
were having a blast. Crowd surfing, you know, everybody's just soaked. Um, that's a cool story. You know,
Well, I
Blood
think,
PG.
yeah, I think I
yeah,
love going to small shows. I brought my son to Sepultura and Testament, and you know what? There was a circle pit in amongst of 200 people, and it was like death. You go to these big concerts and you're worrying about when you're gonna get your next beer. It takes you an hour to get a beer. You can't hear nothing because the wind is taking the sound away, and there's nothing like just straight balls to the wall, punch to the face,
yeah. I
speakers right
mean,
in your face.
you really feel it, man. And yeah, I mean, I've seen some brutal things happen. I've seen people break bones in the pit. I've seen people fall and get yanked up and then had to be taken out of the club because they hurt themselves. And I've seen it all. Uh,
My braces hit some dude's forehead back in that
here's
pit.
another funny tour story. Like, okay, PG tour story, but to me, it's funny. I have a really weird sense of humor. I can be really dry. I can be really morbid sometimes, but then I just like a lot of the
I
times I
vibe
just
with
like to
that.
make fun of myself. Guitarists like to throw out picks and set lists and stuff like that. And you get into a show. This happened, I believe, in Manchester, UK, and awesome crowd. Everybody's raging, throwing out picks, and I decided to start throwing out bananas. And people like didn't realize what the hell they were jumping for. But I remember it was a girl. She jumped up and caught the banana, and she looked at the banana in her hand, and she just looked at me. She's like, "What the?" And I was just like, "Yeah, banana. You have an apple, you know." And maybe it's funny just to me, but
No,
No,
that's
that's
hilarious.
hilarious. You kidding me? Freak, that is hilarious. You know what? It would have been even funnier if she grabbed it and started eating it.
throw the
Oh,
game back.
it's not PG.
Then she threw it back at you. So, go ahead. Next question.
So what are your hobbies outside of music? Do you have any like pre-show rituals that you like to do?
Hobbies. Yeah, I really love to read. I read a lot. That's very boring. Probably not what you wanted to hear. I love to go to the gym. Um, I've got a dog that keeps me pretty busy. I got a 2.5-year-old Rottweiler, and my girlfriend and I just started. Well, we've been doing it for a minute, but we started fostering kittens. And I know super heavy metal, but we actually in the future we'll be probably starting like a nonprofit. We've been doing TNR, which is trap neuter release for all the ferals in the community. Um, you know, feral cats, they're part of the neighborhood, but they just keep multiplying and have more kids and it becomes a
Of
problem. And
course.
that's where they get a bad rap. They're just looking for food. And we look at it, and a lot of people do look at it as, they're part of the neighborhood. They help keep the vermin down. But them multiplying is a problem. So we trap them and we take them to a vet and get them neutered or spayed, and then we just let them go back into the neighborhood. So we've been doing that for a couple of years, and currently we're actually fostering three little black baby kittens. Uh, yeah, we're nurturing them back to
Wow.
health, and I know it's cold back there. It's California cold over here, where we get. I mean, at nighttime it's getting to the low 40s, upper 30s. I know you guys are way colder over there. Yeah,
Well, that's our daytime. We're sitting
Yeah.
at
yeah. So
45 right
you
now.
know,
Yeah.
these little guys, they're California cats. They're not used to it. So you know, we're taking them in. We're getting them healthy, and then we find homes for them if they're adoptable. Sometimes they're too feral, and they just have to go to like a sanctuary, or you just gotta let them go back into the hood. But that's what we're doing right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So I would consider that a hobby, although we're really taking care of them and stuff, you know.
No, you totally just gained a lot of animal lover fans. That's for sure. You know that's information that's probably not out there, and you heard it
Yeah, well,
first on the
all of us
Nobodies.
in the band, with the exception of Christian, I mean, we're all even Christian are animal lovers, but all of us in the band own cats, and you know, it just happened that my girlfriend is super cat lady, and wants to save all of them. So you know, I'm helping her out, and if you guys follow, I mean, you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see me post the cat
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, and my dog, and you know, like I said, in the future we'll probably be starting a little nonprofit. And we did ask for some donations earlier to help these kittens with their vet and visits and their food. And a few people donated. I couldn't be more appreciative, you know. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
that's
we're
awesome.
into. I mean, super heavy metal, right?
Not, hey, there's nothing wrong with it.
Listen, it's so nice of you, and you know what? I'm sure a lot of people, when you put out your charity, they're gonna make sure that they help you. That is awesome because his mother and my wife, same thing. We got two rescue dogs. We got cats. We got fish. Every animal under the sun. I make a joke with my wife. I'm like, the Rainbow Bridge is supposed to be one dog. Our Rainbow Bridge is gonna be like, the
Same here.
freaking Looney Tunes
Yeah,
of
we
animals.
got we got three cats. We got the one dog, and you know, there's more animals than people that live in this home.
Yeah.
That's great. So are you guys back to the music? Back to the music. Are you guys coming out with new singles?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely next year, which is in a couple weeks, we're going to be putting out some more music. Singles wise, I'm not 100% sure. We actually just had a meeting a few days ago, actually last week. I'm sorry, with management, and we're trying to again make that strategy, that plan of when to drop the music. Um, but yeah, we'll definitely be releasing music in the very, very near future.
That's
awesome.
good to hear.
That's great to hear. So now let's ask one last question. Um, what would you tell up and coming musicians who want to get into the
Oh
business?
man, I'll go back to the boring stuff. You know, make sure that your business is in order. You know,
Hmm.
like I said, anybody can write and record music, and anybody can put it out. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. It's easy, but it's how far you want to take it, what you want to do with it, and you know, create a level, create a realistic level um, a realistic level of what you want to achieve with the music, and understand, you know, how understand the road and how difficult it is to be a professional musician. You know, every single professional musician, whether it's rock, pop, at one point they're the starting artist. You know, and we do we put a lot of ourselves into our craft, and we get so little out because it is an emotional art, and all art is emotional. Music specifically is very emotional, and you know, so to put together a realistic, you know, expectation of what you want to achieve. You know, not everybody is going to be at the top of the game. You know, but are you willing to put in the work to get to that? You know, those tiers, those echelons of where you want to go. You know, and for myself, and I know for a lot of other people, is give yourself timetables. You know, by this month I want to achieve this. By this month I want to achieve that. And you know, and I've said it to myself: if I'm not here at this point in my life, then maybe we go back to being a hobbyist. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with, you're rocking out with your buddies. Because at the end of the day, it's about the love of music, right? As professional musicians, there's something else that we're getting out of it. And, it's sure it could be financial. But like I said, that's at the upper levels. The rest of us are basically, pounding the pavement. And, the hobbyist is doing it for the love of it. And that's cool. Like, that's awesome, Professional musicians, we're also doing it for the love of the experience in front of those crowds, in front of those 200 people, in front of those 20 people, in front of the 2,000 people, the 20,000 people, that energy. There's definitely an addiction to the vibe and the energy that we get from being on stage. It's, definitely very rewarding.
Good. Well, that being said, give a big Lions at the Gate shout out. What's coming next? And let's end this video with whatever you want to say
Sure.
about your new band.
First and foremost, thank you, everybody. We wouldn't be here without you guys. Stay tuned for the next releases. I promise you, they're only getting better and better and better. We've got merch available at letgofficial.com. We got the merch bundle, holiday merch bundle set up, which is a vintage style T-shirt, a signed 8x10, and a one-of-a-kind Polaroid, which we shot ourselves during our previous video recordings. So we just did candid shots with Polaroid. So each Polaroid that exists is one of a kind. Eventually, as the band grows, we're hoping that those Polaroids will be sitting in hands of people, and people can start trading them, selling them, like baseball cards,
Awesome.
That's sick.
That is sick, yeah.
Yep.
Good stuff, man. So
All right.
we're going to do our outro now, and we want you to be part of it for sure.
So, guys, remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and tell us down in the comment section below who you might want to see on the channel. Thank you, Diego, so much for coming here. It means so much to us. And press the little bell next to the subscribe button to get notified
Every time
we upload a video. See, he gets it. I'm Son.
And I'm Father.
Diego,
and
from
you
Lions
are
of the Gate.
Rock On.
My pre-show ritual is I like to have a couple drinks and listen to some black metal.